I know I said this before, but this is going to be short because I do want to, I need my sleep now. I, but I was really excited because I did get a microphone. So I hope you guys can hear me a little bit better. I don't know yet if I need to talk right into the thing, but then that would block my face from view. And I also got, you can see in my glasses, I got a ring light. So that I'm not as dark. It just came in the mail yesterday. I, over the past 2 or 3 days, I was in a really bad place. So really dumb, hoping my internet holds up for just half an hour or so. I haven't been that kind of depressed in a really, really long time. In fact, this might become so distracting, I might have to take off my glasses. I felt really awful. I take that back. I like to see. I withdrew on purpose. I think I'm gonna have to put my light higher so I don't have these. But for now, it'll be okay. I kind of made my world a little smaller for a few days as a result of the depression and as a result of that's just how I was taking care of myself. But I was really depressed. I was really having a hard time combating the negative self-talk. And for a while I wasn't doing very well. My mom was really worried about me. She was, is there something I should know about? She was really worried. So I must have been really depressed, apparently, to the outside world too. So as it started out as I was doing really well, and then I mentioned that I was I had been waking up too early, and then after that I had some irritable anger outbursts evenings, and then the depression. So today I'm really tired. I slept, but I don't think I got quality sleep. And I took my medication too. My medication hasn't been on time at any point since my dog was injured, because for so many days he wasn't responding. In part, he couldn't, because part of his alert is to paw at me, and he couldn't do that physically. And he wasn't feeling well, so he wasn't even doing the barking part. And so I was taking my medication, but I was forgetting to, and not taking it at a specific time every day, which apparently I need to do because that's when I'm feeling my best. But I feel better today. less I have less negativity taken up space in my brain, so I was able to do things. I purposely put some things aside because the slightest bit of frustration would make me even more depressed. And before, it would make me more irritable and angry, and I would stomp and slam my fist on the table and throw things. But this was depression rather than a mixed episode. And so I just went into a just um, just anything that didn't go right, it reinforced the mood. So I purposely, even though these items that I've been looking forward to for so long didn't come until just now because I had to wait for money for I have enough money for living, but for splurging things I have to wait. And but I purposely didn't set them up or anything, or work on much of anything too complicated that took too much decision making or thought, like problem solving, because my brain was just too cluttered, and I mean, it just was not functioning. And then when I couldn't do something, it made me even more depressed. So I knew enough to just, okay, for these days, I just need to kind of do the easiest stuff there is to do. And if I feel, and just go with what my body and my brain is telling me to do. I really wanted to go for a walk yesterday, but my body was not ready. I just was too heavy. And so I got around the block and I felt a little bit better and counted that as a success. Today I do feel better. I'm not 100%. Um, I definitely feeling better, and my dog, they have made a mess. He did alert to vacation time this evening, so I'm really happy about that. Um, it's just that he's feeling better because he's taking anti-inflammatories. We have to watch him even more closely because he's supposed to be on rest. So anyway, so that's what's been going. I haven't had that kind of depression in a really long time. I had some bouts of sobbing, especially at night. Tired, like no energy, both physically and mentally. Difficulty making decisions. This is kind of weird. I want to say I didn't have any motivation, but really, I had motivation to want motivation, if that makes any sense. I wanted to feel better. I could do stuff, but I had the tapes that were going through my head were. See, I was upset because my dog was not doing responding to anything he was trying to do. And even though I was telling myself doesn't feel well, I just kept thinking, I he's not a service dog. He just does tricks for treats and pets. So um so I was battling that, and the I'm of no consequence to anyone or anything in this world. I'm I try things. I try things. I want to do things to make to be productive. I don't. I'm just that way. I put more stress on myself than is necessary. It's like a catch 22 for people with um, psychiatric disorders. We want to be like the rest of the world. I mean, people that have psychiatric disorders, they want to be like everyday Joes. To just, I mean, count yourself lucky that you can work behind the counter at a gas station, or earn a few bucks chopping wood for somebody. Just anything when um, we desperately want to be able to do something to um, to uh, what is the word I'm looking for? Not productive. I mean, to be a member of society and not. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who have who can't work or work a lot because of their psychiatric disability, and they truly enjoy just sitting at home playing games, and that's the life they want to lead until the day they die. All the people I know would like to not have their disorder and have the everyday struggles of what everybody else is going through. I know I would. You know, um, this isn't fun. This this is not easy. This is not um, predictable. Um, and the pressures that we put on ourselves because of the pressure society puts on us only makes our stress worse and makes it more difficult for us to function even when we're not working. If there was more understanding um, um, for people with psychiatric disorders, I mean, there are some places you can work, some programs where people with disabilities can do jobs that aren't too stressful and it's just a few hours, and um but it's still not. And you see people, it's just crazy. you know I hear people talk about um oh, my kid needs braces, so I'm going to try to pick up some more hours, um and I'm hoping my car, and like they have those kinds of worries. Like if you watch the if I watch the show Roseanne, or you know every, everyday worries of every family, people would with psychiatric disorders would in an instant trade their disorder and disability with somebody for some, for that life, for those worries, because I get to worry about, am I going to get so depressed I'm going to get suicidal, and I'm not going to be able to reason with it because mine is not okay at that moment, you know and only I know it and experience it. And that's like not something, I have to deal with that more often than the average other person. And yes, I would prefer a trade off, you know? Like, you work at Walmart. I worked at Walmart. I cried the whole time when I worked at Walmart because I was ashamed. I had gone from a registered nurse to working at Walmart. I was working my way up to going back to nursing. And I just wanted to prove that I could work a job for 6 months. Um, and I think I did finally tell my mom the reason I was depressed. It's not the reason I was depressed was because I have bipolar disorder. And that's where it took me. But what was um, um, enhancing it was the fact that I was, I am so tired of plummeting to the bottom and clawing my way out. I'm just tired of it. And I have to do that so many times, and I think that the average person without a psychiatric disorder has no idea what I'm talking about. They have no clue, no clue what I mean. Um, yes, everybody has dark moments. Um, and everybody has unfortunate things happen that affect their lives and make them depressed. But I have to deal with the uncertainty of every morning opening up my eyes and not knowing what, I mean, the the extremes are so extreme. It's not just a little bit. It's like I have three modes, and I can either morph from one to the other through the day, or just open up my eyes and be in a whole different state than I was yesterday. I have I have productive, creative, active me. And I have irritable, frustrated, angry, mean, um, destructive, harmful me. And then I have dark, despondent, um, um, very horrible place to be. That's that's my life. That's my life. And I'll be getting to where I'm moseying like, oh, this is good. I think I'm in the clear now. I think I'm in the clear now. And it's like a punch in the face. Boom. And um it happens frequently for about a few days at a time. Um, uh, Years ago, I would actually have a mood for weeks to months in sort of just the ebb and a flow, and I could normal birthday present since I just had my birthday. It's like, well, your bipolar disorder's changed now, and and um now the irritable and stuff, they have told me mixed episode. I call the short duration of the entire cycle and then having another one very soon after. I call that rapid cycling. Um, but some people say that's mixed as well. But the bottom line is about mood disorders is you can't get caught up in um, you can't get caught up in labels. Labels are for the insurance company. It's really it's for the insurance company, and it's an easy way to communicate something very quickly to someone without getting into a lot of detail because everybody is different. It's just easier to say to people that you're having a conversation with to say, yeah, I have bipolar disorder. It's a lot easier to say that than you know, I have bipolar 1 disorder with mixed features and psychotic features with rapid cycling because that's going to go over their head. And as you age and whatever, as you meds change, as your hormones change, your symptoms change. So you may be riding along in bipolar 2 for a while and slide on into bipolar 1. You might be, I can't say this very well, cyclothymic, and then they say, no, you're bipolar 2. Um, a good psychiatrist or psychiatric nurse practitioner treats symptoms, not diagnosing, treating your symptoms and not a label. Um, anyway, so I am definitely better today. Um, um, I don't. It's hard to describe. To me, it felt like for about 2 or 3 days, it was always nighttime. Like there was no daytime. And I really do feel like I'm suffering some degree of seasonal affective disorder. And my mom said before it even started getting cold that she was thinking of investing in a um, lamp specifically for seasonal affective disorder. Um, I remind her of that because I need it. I need it. It must be because I am a heat seeking missile. I don't go out and like get in the sun to like go in the pool and lay out to darken. I find the shade, I get in a hammock and I read. But I love the warmth on my skin. Um, I uh, I like going outside. I always feel better outside. Um, I get it's like recharging a battery in my brain, and so I always make sure I had at least 15 minutes of sunlight. And even I live where it gets really hot, so I think I'm gonna remind my mom. I'm gonna remind my mom about the lamp, and my eyes are getting heavy. I took my medication at the right time this time, so I'm hoping I'll have more energy tomorrow. Um, I was like, I just want to emphasize how badly I felt. And I thought about coming on, but I wouldn't have said anything. I just would have, it just, I didn't feel well. I just needed to make my world smaller to be manageable and hope it passed quickly. And I feel like it is passing. I had three successes today. I already mentioned the dog one. Um, um, the other one was hooking up the microphone. From the instructions, it looked like it was going to be complicated, and I was afraid I was going to have a fit and an outburst over that. But it turned out that it wasn't. I just sort of accidentally figured it out, and I tested it and listened to it on my own computer, and it sounded like it was a little bit louder and clearer. I hope it is. I'll probably mess with it a little bit more. In the circle light, um, I just let's see. I discovered that with the circle light, that was pretty easy. Um, and it seems to help a lot. Like one person here, but it matters if I want to get my message across. So, how did I cope during that dark time? Well, I cried, when I felt like crying, I cried and I just cried and I cried and I just let it happen. And I stayed with the bare minimum of my schedule. Um, I did, I was not able to straighten up. I forgot to. I had problems with my memory during this time. I would, so I would have to, I straightened up later when I came up to find that I hadn't. Um, I kept my dog with me So that helped. I think the biggest things, the the fact that I gave myself permission to, you know, like people who have, say, autoimmune disorders, they'll have like bad days. They talk about spoonies and spoon life, and they only talk about it like with people who have chronic physical disorders. But I personally think it applies to people with psychiatric disorders as well. And the theory is it's like every week or every day you have so many spoons, and each spoon represents something you can do. And when you run out of spoons, you're out of spoons you can't do anymore. Um, and so if you're having a day where it's like a mission to scale back, um, and just kind of live through it. Ate, I didn't eat much, but it was dinner time, so I ate some dinner. I didn't feel like it, but I did it. I didn't stay cooped up in my room. In the evening, I forced myself to go downstairs to do my usual thing, which is spend a couple hours watching TV with my mom. And so doing the usual, knowing that, but it does end. And I do feel every time that I've been depressed, I've come out of it. So we're just gonna hope it's not gonna be too long, and just sort of one foot in front of the other basically until it's gone. Now, there is that time when I'm gonna have to go soon. Um, when I was depressed for a full year, that had to do with medication. Um, and that's when I got desperate enough to allow ECT. I don't know. um, so I just accepted the fact that I have bipolar disorder. It is a medical condition, and this is part of that condition, and it's temporary. I'm going to feel better. I don't know when yet, but I am. Nothing is as important right now as my mental health. So, um, but night times were the worst. Um, but I woke up this morning feeling better. I have a feeling if I get a good night's sleep tomorrow, I'll be even better. I have I have projects waiting for me. I, I'm motivated on some levels. Um, I think the most important thing, though, is that even though I only spent a few hours with my mom during this time each day, and I had to force myself to do it. Um, I think that was the biggest thing that helped me get through it. Um, and I know a lot of people don't have that person, uh, a person to ask, "Are you okay? Is there something I should know about?" I actually got angry. Gosh, can't I just be depressed without people bugging me? But knowing that there's a person there. With another, like a loved one, I am less likely to go to even going over the line. Is that there's another person in the house worried about me, and I can't go there because then she would be alone, and she doesn't have enough money to live alone, and what would happen to my dog, So if you have someone that that can just say, "Are you okay?" You know, is there something I should know about? It helps a bunches. Um, because you almost feel accountable then, and you don't indulge in the even darker thoughts. And y'all know where I'm going with that. So that's how I got through it. Um, I did have something I was going to say. Oh, I inquired about my internet quality, and apparently, I just live in a really sucky place as far as the internet goes. The nice stuff doesn't come this far. So, anyway, okay, so I am going to go um, so I can do my bedtime come on again tomorrow. So, good night.